weirdest show I ever see the dating game? That's a weird show. The prize on the dating game, another contestant. Talk about cheap, you know, they chuck you somebody else. And they always do the same thing on the dating game. They get a beautiful girl, match her up with 3 big geeks, you know? Last week they had a guy, I was like a crazy guy, loony bin, psycho, wingnut, crazy guy. You can tell by the way they introduce him, you know, they go, bachelor number 2 is a shadowy, lurking character. From no fixed address, please welcome. Guy comes shambling into the studio, well-thumbed copy of Catcher in the Rye sticking out of his back pocket area. And then they made the girls ask those questions. They always be laced with sexual innuendo, you know. Girl got to go, bachelor number 2, if I were a popsicle. What would you do to me then? What? That's what it says on the card here, something about a popsicle. And then the guy goes, well, if you were a popsicle, huh? Well, first of all, I guess I'd take your wrapper off. If you know what I mean. Then I'd grab a hold of your sticks. If you know what I mean. Then I'd press you against the counter till you're broken too. Put half you in the freezer till later. You know what I mean? You understand what I'm getting at there? Crazy guy that turned out to be. But everything's expensive, isn't it? Oh, man, I wanted to buy this dog. You should have seen this dog. This guy wanted to sell me a dog in the store. It was $600, this dog. Can you believe it? $600 for a dog? Oh, man. I was looking to pay, you know, a buck. I just wanted a bargain dog, a nice discount dog, a cheap, off-the-rack kind of dog, any kind of... Show me to your bin of dogs, my good man, I said to the guy. But this guy says, no, he says, why don't you buy this dog? He says, it's $600, this dog, but he says, this dog is a Pitbull. He says, this dog will protect your valuables. You know, and I don't even have anything very valuable, you know. I buy the Pitbull, that would be the most valuable thing I have. I'd have to buy something to protect it then, you know. I'd be out shopping for Wolverines the next day there. Show me something in a timber wolf if you could. No, you don't want a dog like that. I want a dog do things for me, you know. Fetch my slippers and things like that. You know, Pitbull won't do that. I say, hey, Pitbull, fetch my slippers. You know, Pitbull go, I could kill you, pal. I'm a Pitbull. Don't you read the papers or anything? I don't fetch slippers. I fetch people. That's all. I could fetch you a guy. That's the best I could do. Maybe be wearing some slippers. How about I bump a guy off around bedtime? How about that? So you go, all right then. Fair enough. Boy, those dogs will kill you fast too, man. Just they rip your throat out. That's what Pitbull does. It goes, ah! Rips your throat out, and you die. And you die before he hits you. Dog being there, you go, I think I'll have a heart attack. When I was a kid, it was a Doberman. That was a mean dog when I was a kid. And they'd rip your throat out, too, but they'd give you a little, you know, head start. Doberman see you on the street. Go, hey, your house over there? Okay. So you don't even see Dobermans around anymore. You know that because Pitbulls have all the work now. They're the big dog. Dobermans, once in a while you see them on a street corner, you know. It's sad. On a park bench with a Frisbee. I used to be somebody, hey. I'm a Doberman, hey. Got a buck? Buck for the Doberman here. Yeah, I don't get those crazy killer dogs. When I buy a dog, I always try to buy a dog that, you know, if he goes berserk, I can take him. I like to be able to beat up my dog if I have to. I got a wiener dog. You know, I got one of those. Wiener dog can't rip your throat out, you know. Unless you're lying down, you know, that'd be about the only way. You'd have to be lying down sleeping, and the wiener dog sneak up late at night, start nibbling at your throat there. Maybe by daybreak, he's got a hold of a vein, he's pulling out a vein there, you know. Well, you wake up, oh, get away from me, you wiener dog. What the hell, you think you're a Pitbull there or something? You get... Give my vein back there, that's my vein you got there. Worse than wiener dog, give him maybe a hickey, that's about all you got. And that's embarrassing too. Hey, you have a hickey, people see you on the street go, hey, you got a wiener dog over there, huh? Okay, listen, that's the end of my jokes, but thanks a lot, you've been great. See you later there.
When I was young, there was a fella went by the name of Jacques de Gautier. And he was from Témiscamingue, Quebec. And Jacques de Gautier, he was a fella that really thought. And he was smart, you know. He was our hope, I guess. And he was, while I was scrambling to get out of high school, Jacques de Gatineau had already...
I think you just changed his last name.
Well, you know, a man grows. But this is the point.
Yeah.
Jacques de Gatineau, he went to McGill University and he got 3 degrees, by golly. And he went over across the pond to the fellers with Cambridge, and he even stood up to them. Mm-hmm. And we thought, boy, he's going to be the next. We had Jean Marchand, Gérald Pertier, Pierre Trudeau, the 3 wise men of Quebec. By God, Jacques de Gatineau was going to be the next.
Give me the next gun.
Yeah, but he vanished. And I met him, I started to do stand-up and travel from here to there and to here again. And one time I was in Niagara Falls, and gosh, I went over to the Sea World there. You know how they have the Sea World? You know, with the different fish. You know.
I didn't know that, but okay, yeah, yes.
Beluga.
The Sea World, I've been
Sure.
there many a time.
Okay, so I was checking out the beluga whales and stuff, and I look over, and who do you think I see?
I hope it's that guy.
No, it was just an attendant, but he showed me to the place I wanted to see, which is where they feed the little baby dolphins, because I love dolphins, you know. And who do I see there but Jacques de Gatineau? And here he is, he's feeding the baby dolphins. And I go up to him and I go, Jacques de Gatineau, I feel shame for you. You were our hope. You were to go to Canada, Canada's nation's capital of Ottawa. And you were to be a great man, Jacques de Gatineau. And we were all, you know, we pinned all of Témiscamingue, Quebec, pinned our hopes on you. Now, that's a hell of a burden for a man to have a town's hope pinned on them, isn't it, Conan?
It is a big burden.
So he was feeding these baby dolphins, you know, and I said, I'm ashamed of you, Jacques de Gatineau. You could have done so many great things. And he said, well, I think I'm serving a youthful porpoise. Now, I believe that...
I knew that was going to happen. I knew that was going to happen.
You don't encourage that.
It's like...
That was a 40-minute story.
It's like somebody...
Youthful porpoise?
Youthful porpoise.
Yes.
Not porpoise.
I don't know. Good God.
I know. That was way out of line.
No, that was way out of... Who are you to criticize Oscar Pistorius?
It's like somebody saying, I got to show you something. They take you on a 4-mile hike to show you a dog turd. Look at it. Okay.
Well, there's your reel for CBS. We're getting this right to Les Moonves.
Yeah. I gotta have him.
You want to see that every night, Les? This guy's got...
More Quebecois humor.
I love you. I really do. You know that, right?
I chose the soup. Big mistake. Anyways, hey, how about that Caitlyn Jenner, huh? I personally have great admiration for Caitlyn Jenner because, you know, back in the year of our Lord 1976, when I was a teenage boy, why, I saw Caitlyn Jenner here at the 1976 Olympics. She went by the name of Bruce back then. And she won the decathlon. And this is what I think. I think what a wonderful time. You see, it's all timing, you know? And now imagine how great it would have been for the transgender community if, when awarded that gold medal, Bruce Jenner said, "Hey, I'm a lady." And people go, "God damn, the greatest athlete in the world is a lady." Would have really vaulted it, but no, he waits. Waits until he is 65 years old. Now, you know, in all seriousness, I mean, in all honesty, is there really that much difference between a 65-year-old man Well, I hate to bring it up, the elephant in the room. There's no elephant in the room, by the way, don't panic. What if there was an actual elephant in the room? I'm like, I don't want to bring up the elephant in the room. Yeah, no, go ahead. No, seriously, yeah. I think I should bring up there's an elephant in the room. No, go ahead. No, the elephant in the room, of course, here we are at a comedy festival. And of course, this was the year of Bill Cosby. And this was tough on me as a comedian. And I'm sure on many of the comedians you'll see here tonight. Because, you know, as a trailblazing comic, Mr. Cosby, you know, and I remember growing up and listening to albums of his with my dad, and by God, I loved him, you know, and I tried to emulate. Really loved Bill Cosby, you know, and so to have this happen just made me so sad. You know, a friend of mine said to me, he said, "Norm, you know, the worst thing about it is the hypocrisy." And I said, "I don't think that's the worst part." Worst part, the raping. Then it would be the drugging that preceded the raping. Then it would be finding the drugs that you would be used to drug the lady that you were going to rape. You know, it was a big, long list till you hit hypocrisy. That'd be way down there, I think, personally. As a matter of fact, I would venture to guess, and I don't know, I have no empirical evidence for this, but I would venture to guess that most rapists are hypocrites. And there's a lot of rapists hanging around going, "Sure, I love to rape. I'm out front about it, goddammit. I'm no hypocrite." So anyways. That is how I feel about Bill Cosby and hypocrisy. I feel that it's just, you know, it doesn't come into the equation at all. Like you could never find a woman would never wake up all drugged up and shit, you know, Cosby cock in her face. And go, "God damn, what is that, a Cosby cock or something?" Looked like a Cosby cock to me.